Now if you're still having trouble with getting the lights to work, the next step is to check the ballast. And here's the ballast that I removed from the front of the Maxima. It's just a little electric or electronic little pack here, and it has the electricity going in, and then it has these two leads going out here to the light. So this is your ballast, and this is another component here that is the igniter, I think. Sometimes this will be a separate piece, and sometimes it's part of here. So basically, you can see this is all kind of all one piece. So if any one part goes bad, the whole thing will be bad. So the main thing really is to check and see what you have and find something that will work for it. And as I'm looking here on this, what I'm looking for is to see the wattage. If we can actually focus on this here. But of course, to see it's 12 volt and it's 35 watt. There it is, HID ballast. So I've found a replacement one, basically looking for the same type of specifications here. 35 watt, not a 55 watt. And looking for something that looks just the same. And you can see we've really got, apart from the label, it's the same kind of thing here. So it should go right in. And you can look for HID ballast any number of places on the internet. Amazon and eBay are good places to get them. But you just want to get the right specs and something that looks like it's the same type as what you have. And if you use that route, it's going to be fairly cost effective. These aren't too bad. If you go to your dealership and tell them to change out or fix your ballast, then you're talking really hundreds of dollars. So here's the new ballast put in place, or actually just hooked up. I haven't put it down in its little storage pocket down there, but then we've got the light on. So both lights working on the Maxima, and of course that's what we're looking for. So if the replacing the headlight doesn't work, then there's always the next step in replacing other components. In this case, it would be the ballast and the igniter together, since they are one unit. But this hopefully will solve the problem and keep your HID headlights running bright. Now while I'm here, I thought I'd take a look at the fog lights, since most things tell you to remove the headlight assembly to get to the fog lights. And you can see underneath it, that's the back of the fog light assembly right down there at the bottom part of the car. So it looks like there's no other way to get to it from underneath. So this is how you get to it, right through here. So you just need to reach through and kind of pop that out and push it forward. If you're thinking about doing it without removing the headlight assembly, you can see it's actually all covered up under here. So right there is this little panel, and this is it. This is it right here that you would have to remove in order to reach the fog lights from underneath. So that might be just as much work or more work than trying to remove the headlight assembly. So I was going to see if there was a way to get to it from underneath, but I think the best thing would just be to remove that headlight assembly and tack it from above. Also, unlike an aftermarket headlight or fog light, which I put in before, these are actually screwed in. So you can see that there are threaded bolts there, and there's a nut right here. So you're going to have to unscrew those. You can't just pop it out. So you'll definitely have to, have some easy access to it, and unscrew both these little guys here to move out that fog light. Now, these are the nuts you'll need to remove. They're 10 millimeter, and because they have the bolt going through them, you'll probably want an extended socket like this. It makes it easier. So you remove both of those. Let's put those right there. Then you kind of have to push and wiggle and give it a bit of force, but once those are kind of out of there, then you can just sort of remove the whole fog light assembly like this, and it actually even plugs in. You can replace them this way if you get the right kind of plug. There's a plug not too far up right in here where you can unplug the whole thing. But we really don't need to do that. We just need to get to the bulb here. So it's sealed in pretty nicely. Just need to rotate this back kind of cap here. There we go. Rotate that, and it should come right off. Let's take a look at the bulb. And that is indeed an H3. And the H3 has this extra little sort of cable with a blade connector. It'll plug in right there. So we need to remove the H3, the bulb from in there, and then unplug it from right there. So here's the little metal clip that holds it in, like a lot of light bulbs. And that was really tough to get out there. It hooks in right in there. I had to grab a pair of pliers and just really force that out, really tight. Everything is tighter and harder to get out than I thought it would be. But that's the bulb. Now that it's loose, I should be able to just pull that out of there. Get things out of the way. Pull out, and there's your standard H3 bulb. Again, really, really tight. I don't know why that was so tight in there. But here's what I'm going to replace it with. This is an LED amber bulb. Pop that in there and hope it'll do the job. Well, actually, it's probably more yellow than amber. Most of these things are 3000K color. It doesn't make them quite amber, but very yellow. So there's the replacement bulb that should go right back in. And because things in there were so tight, I was having a hard time working on them, I decided just to remove it. So you can see there's the plug for it right there. And basically what you need to do is press down this little tab right there. Press that down, and that'll lower this little locking piece. So press that down. You probably need something like a flat blade screwdriver to press that down and pry them apart. Again, really tight in there. But that's where they are apart. And so now that this whole piece is removed, I can get in there and dig around and do stuff and work on it more easily and make the change if necessary. Now when you put this back in, to save yourself from some frustration, take a look here. One of these notches is really, really long. And so there's a corresponding longer piece on this cap right here. So make sure you line those up. There's that long one right there. Otherwise you'll be wondering, why won't this fit in? See, 3 shorter ones, 1 really long one. Before I put things back together, just kind of testing it out there. And you can see the fog light. It's actually a lot more amber than I thought it might be. But there we go, the original and then the amber replacement fog light bulb.